Today we're meeting with potter and ceramic artist Nicole Hummel. How are you doing today, Nicole?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm feeling really excited that many people have been coming and shopping, finding gifts for the holidays, and it always feels good to share my work with friends and family and new people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, tell me a little bit about your process.
yeah, so most of my work is thrown on the wheel. I throw right here in my studio. We're here in my studio right now. And then I do a combination of different glazes and firing techniques. I use textured glazes often and use the slip trailing technique. And then a lot of my work is also fired in wood fire kilns. So I get really beautiful, earthy, spontaneous surfaces.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So most of my work is thrown on the wheel, and then some is hand sculpted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. As we return, what inspires you to do this?
I love working with my hands. I love the way that it tethers me to the moment. And I love sharing my artistic vision with the world. A lot of natural patterns that we find are things that inspire me in terms of decoration and surface. And I really like for my work to, imitate some of those patterns that we see in nature.
Yes.
I also feel really inspired in this world that is so machine-made, kind of mass-produced, to be making work slowly, handmade, really this ancient craft that has been with humans forever. Pottery, it's one of the oldest art forms, and it's got this functional element too, which really resonates for me. Making artwork that you can use on a daily basis and that enriches everyday moments. That's really inspiring to me, and I always love to hear, customers that use my mug every morning and they just love their mug so much, and they come and they want to, get other things for their collection too, because it really does, to use something that's handmade by someone with intention really changes the experience of those everyday moments. And so how can we really bring more of that to our everyday life is kind of one of my missions.
That's fantastic. Right. Oh, what are some of your new directions now?
Mom, where's my pot?
Well, this is my son Quinn, and he really loves working with clay. Becoming a mother has really, influenced my way of working and has also inspired some new artistic directions. I really, teaching has always been a big part of my work as well, sharing this craft with young folks of all ages, really. But a new direction that I'm feeling really excited about is my sculptural work. Okay, Quinn. So I do these sculptural forms that are decorative. It's very different from the work that I've been doing over the years, and it's all about process. So I just have the clay being shaped in my hands. I shape it in my hands, and I don't have a vision of what it's going to be like in the end, but I do what feels good and what's intuitive. And I've ended up with this whole collection of wall pieces that are very organic, kind of oceanic forms, decorative pieces, but that really have a lot to do with the experience of becoming a mother and that shape shifting that's required of becoming a mom, and the sacrifice, the healing, the expression, and finding a way of continuing to make my artwork, with these new constraints, but also new inspiration. So
fantastic. Yeah. That's fantastic. Those types of ingredients really make for good art.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But I feel really interested in not just necessarily repeating things that I've been doing for many years, but also making something new that really speaks to my story in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like that's a responsibility that we have as artists, is to continue sharing our stories with our communities, with the world. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Nicole Hummel's artwork studio.
So I thought I'd share a little bit about my different bodies of work, as I like to call them, different collections. So over here you can see my crackle technique, which is a special glaze that beads up during the firing. It's very textured, really pleasing to hold and touch. And then I also do a technique called slip trailing, which you can see on this work here. It's also a raised surface. Slip trailing is a very old technique that's been used for a long time, mostly in England, and it's a squeeze bottle of a watered down clay that I trail onto the piece freehand. So all of these patterns here that you see are that technique. This is a part of a new series that I did that's sort of like a snowflake, inspired by snowflakes. This is a slightly raised surface here, and these are all done just kind of inspired by the shape of the piece. You can see each piece is unique. Each one is done, one of a kind. And so over here is more of the crackle work. I do all different forms, platters and pitchers, teapots and mugs, soup bowls and vases. I also do dinnerware sets. So I'll often do custom collections for people.
Yes.
And then over here is my wood-fired work, and you can see already based on the color that it's a lot more kind of earth tones, browns and golds and silvers, and most of these don't have any glaze on the outside. Their surface is completely the result of the ash in the atmosphere of the wood kiln that melts onto the pot and forms a glaze.
Amazing.
So, and then over here you can see some of my, this is kind of a blend of this new sculptural work that I've been doing. The edge is sculpted onto a throne piece, and then that was wood fired. And
How
this
different.
is part of that new work that I've been doing. That feels a lot more kind of decorative, more than the functional. Yeah.
Very nice, Nicole.
Thank you.
So how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, I've been doing pottery for over 10 years. I started as an apprentice at the Folk Art Guild in upstate New York, and I studied there with a lady named Annie Schliffer, who happens to be my husband's mom, and she was my teacher. She taught me everything from throwing on the wheel to firing the kilns to mixing glazes, and even just running a studio and selling work as a potter. So it was a really amazing way to learn, very hands-on. And then when we moved to Oregon, I started my own business doing this, and it's been about 5 years. It's been about 5 years.
Oh, Ruby's part of the interview now.
Yep. She's
Hello.
saying, hi, and I'm ready for some milk, Mom. So, yeah. So that's what I do, and now it's juggled with 2 children. There's a lot less time, but I find that I still really need this this way of expressing myself creatively, and I've found a way of continuing to have this be a big part of my life, and a significant part of our family's bread and butter too. So it's a really special thing.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you for the tour and your wonderful art. On sale now all the time on the net, but there's a special showing this weekend.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Certainly, Nicole. Bye-bye. Bye, Ruby.